Hey everyone, let's take a look at this quiz 4.1 to 4.3 review, which is all about slope-intercept form and point-slope form. Okay, let's take a look. First question, what is the equation in slope-intercept form that has a slope of -1 and a y-intercept of 4? So first of all, slope-intercept form looks like y equals mx plus b. And if it says it has a slope of -1, that means this would be y equals -1 is my m, x goes after the slope, and then a y-intercept of 4. Now, the only thing is we really don't like to write -1x. We would just write -x. And so that's my answer. Y equals -x plus 4. Number 2, Nathan has a collection of 40 Pokemon cards and adds 10 cards to his collection each week. Which equation in slope-intercept form represents this situation? So 40 I know is his y-intercept because that's the number that he would basically be starting with. So I know that plus 40 is the y-intercept. If he's adding 10 cards to his collection is increasing by 10 each time. So that would mean that my slope is a positive 10x. If 10 cards were being taken away from his collection each time, then it would have been a negative 10x. But that's it. Y equals 10x plus 40. Number 3, what is the equation of a line that goes through 0, 6 and has a slope of 0.5? So I'm going to show you two different ways to look at this problem. So first of all, I have an ordered pair, 0, 6. 0, 6, my 0 is my x, my 6 is my y, and it says that my slope is 0.5. Okay, so I would go ahead and I would take the slope and the ordered pair to solve for b to write my equation. My y is 6 equals my slope is 0.5 times my x value of 0 plus b. 0 times anything is just 0, and I end up getting just 6 equals b. So my equation is y equals 0.5x, because 0.5 was my slope that I was given, plus 6. Now, this problem would have been a lot faster if I had just said to you, hey, when you have an ordered pair and x is 0, then that means the y value is the y-intercept. So that's 6. It's not a coincidence that it's the 6 that's here. I actually don't have to do any math. And that's my equation, y equals 0.5x plus 6. Number 4, what is an equation of a line that goes through 2, -7? So 2, -7, and has a slope of 0. Okay, so I have my x and y, and I'm going to do the same thing. This one's also going to have a special situation. So I'm going to plug in my -7 is my y, my 0 is my m, times 2 plus b. 0 times anything is just 0. So then this is really just -7 equals b. And so if I write my equation, y equals 0x minus 7, it looks kind of silly because 0 times x is just 0. And so when the slope is 0, your equation is just going to be y equals, and it's going to be the y-coordinate of your ordered pair. So because my y-coordinate was -7, that's the equation, just y equals -7. Number 5, what is the equation of the line that goes through 4, 5, and -3, -2? Okay, 4, 5, and -3, -2. So what I notice here is I don't know the slope, I don't know the y-intercept, but we do know our slope formula. I can easily find my slope, so it would be -2 minus 5 over -3 minus 4. This ends up becoming -7 over -7, which is just positive 1. I then take the slope, that slope, and an ordered pair. I'm going to choose the first ordered pair because it looks friendly to me, and I plug them in to solve for b. So y equals mx plus b. My y is my 5. My slope is 1 times my x-coordinate is 4 plus b. This ends up becoming 5 equals 4 plus b. Subtract 4 on both sides, and we end up getting b equals 1. So not only is the slope 1, but the y-intercept is 1, and so my equation is y equals, if my slope is 1, I'm not going to write 1x, I'm just going to write x. My y-intercept was positive 1, and so it's just y equals x plus 1. Awesome. Number 6, what is the equation of a line that goes through 4, 5 and has a slope of -4? So 4, 5, and has a slope of -4. So again, I'm going to take my slope and the ordered pair to solve for b to write my equation. So I have y equals mx plus b. My y is my 5. My m is -4 times my x is positive 4 plus b. This ends up being 5 equals negative 16 plus b. Go ahead, add 16 on both sides, and we end up getting 21. So my equation is y equals, my slope was negative 4x plus 21. Number 7, what is the equation of the line shown in the graph? When you look at a graph, you need to just calculate two things. What's my slope, what's my rise over run, and what's my y-intercept? So when I look at this graph here, I would say to myself, okay, well, in y equals mx plus b, I definitely know what my y-intercept is. Like I see it's crossing the y-axis here at 1. So I know it's going to end with a plus 1. For my slope, I want to count rise over run. So from here, I see this is a guaranteed point. And then I also see that this 3, 3 is a point. So if I want to go from 0, 1 to 3, 3, I'm going to go up 2. So it's a rise of 2, up 2, and then run 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. My slope is 2/3. And so that would be my equation. Y equals 2/3 x plus 1. Same thing for the next one, number 8. What is the equation of the line shown in the graph? So again, y equals mx plus b. I need to figure out my slope, and I need to figure out my y-intercept. Now, I see that this graph is definitely crossing the y-axis at a negative 2, so I know it's going to end with minus 2. I just need to see my slope. So, okay, I see that this is a point, and I know that that's a point. So if I go from here down to here, I'm going down 3, so negative 3, down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then to the right 1. And negative 3 over 1 is just negative 3. So my final answer is just y equals negative 3x minus 2. Number 9, determine the point and slope from the equation. Okay, so now point slope form. So point slope form looks like y minus the y coordinate equals m times x minus the x coordinate. So in this equation that I'm giving you, y minus 4 equals negative 5 times x plus 2, you could see that things line up pretty nicely here. The easiest thing to figure out is the slope. I definitely know that my m is negative 5, but when I look at all my answer choices, it's all negative 5. My ordered pair. So what happens is that the formula is y minus the y coordinate. So if I see y minus 4, well, then that means my y sub 1 is 4. My y value is a positive 4, because think about it. If I plug in a 4 into this formula, it would look like y minus 4. But I noticed that my negative x is positive 2. The only way to plug in a value for x sub 1, this number here, to make it a positive 2, is if the x coordinate was a negative 2. If I plugged in a negative 2 into that equation, it would be x minus negative 2, and x minus negative 2 becomes x plus 2. So my x coordinate is a negative 2. It's very important to see the pattern here, that when you see y minus 4, that the y value is positive 4. If you see x plus 2, that means the x coordinate was a negative 2. It's opposite signs. So now if I do the same thing with this next problem, and I'm looking at, again, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1, and I layer this equation, y plus 6 equals negative x minus 5, I definitely first of all see that my slope is a negative 1. There's really a negative 1 there, so I'm not going to look at my positive slopes. My ordered pair, if I see x minus 5, well, that means that my x coordinate is a 5, but y sub 1 being 6, that means that my y sub 1, this whole value here, must have been a negative 6, because y minus negative 6 would give me a positive 6. So I'm looking for a slope of negative 1, and then my ordered pair, negative 6. I'm looking for 5, negative 6. So slope of negative 1, and then 5, negative 6. Awesome. Number 11, rewrite this in slope-intercept form. Okay, I love this. So y minus 3 equals negative 9 times x minus 1. I'm going to go ahead and distribute because slope-intercept form doesn't have parentheses. So this would be y minus 3 equals negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Negative 9 times negative 1 is positive 9. And then my last step to get it to look like y equals mx plus b would be to get rid of this negative 3. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3 on both sides. And when I do that, look what we get. Y equals negative 9x plus 12. It's perfectly in slope-intercept form. Beautiful. The next question is actually the exact same problem as above, but it's asking for it in standard form. What would be the only step that I'd have to do from this problem here to put this into standard form to make it look like ax plus by equals c? Well, I would just need to move my 9x to the other side of the equation. It's a negative 9x, so I'm going to add 9x on both sides. And if I do that, I end up getting 9x plus y equals 12. And that would be in standard form. Number 13, rewrite in slope-intercept form. So to take 5x minus y equals 8, to make that look like y equals mx plus b, there's definitely multiple ways to do this problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, oh, I want to start to get y by itself. Okay, so let me subtract 5x on both sides. And if I do that, I get negative y equals negative 5x plus 8. Do I want it to be negative y equals? No, I want it to be positive y. So I would have to divide everything by negative 1. And if I do that, I get y equals positive 5x minus 8. Now, could I have swung the y to the other side to make it positive and then swing the 8 over to make it negative? Absolutely, I would get this exact same answer. Number 14, write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that has a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of negative 4. This doesn't get any easier. It would just be y equals a slope of 2, so 2x, y-intercept of negative 4 minus 4. Easy, easy. Next one, write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that has a slope of 0 and a y-intercept of 5. Well, I'm really not going to write y equals 0x plus 5. That 0 times x is just 0. My equation would really just be y equals 5. Write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that has a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 0. Okay, so if I really wrote that out, it would be y equals 1x plus 0. There's definitely two things wrong with this. First of all, if the y-intercept 0, we don't put plus 0 at the end. And last, if the slope is 1, we don't keep the 1 in front of the x. It's just y equals x. Those were quick. Number 17, write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that goes to the points, negative 2, 0, and 0, 4. So this is more practice from that skill up top. I need to first figure out my slope. So I would do 4 minus 0 over 0 minus negative 2. 4 minus 0 is 4. 0 minus negative 2 is 2. And I end up getting a slope of 2. Now I could take my slope and an ordered pair to solve for b to write my equation, or I could remember that cool fact that this right here, 0, 4, is your y-intercept. So when the x is 0, this 4, that's my value for b. So my equation would be y equals 2x plus 4. That one was quick. Y equals 2x plus 4. Next one, number 18, write the equation of the line in point slope form that has a slope of negative 4 and goes to the point 6, 4. So ready? It's y minus the y coordinate. The y coordinate here is 4 equals my slope, which is negative 4, times x minus my x coordinate, which is 6. I didn't have any sign issues. That's my final answer. Next one, write the equation of line in point slope form that has a slope of 2 and goes to the point of negative 1, negative 5. Same idea, but this one is going to have sign issues. So ready, it would be y minus my y coordinate of negative 5 equals a slope of 2 times x minus the x coordinate of negative 1. So because they're both negative, when you subtract a negative, they become positive. So this would then be y plus 5 equals 2 times x plus 1. So again, notice in point slope form, we have the double signs of the negatives. We have to make sure we change them, and we're all good. Last question, write the equation of line in slope-intercept form where y represents how much candy Olivia has left over. Olivia has 40 candies and eats 2 candies per day. Well, 40 would be my y-intercept because that's my starting amount. But if she eats 2 candies each day, she's not adding 2 onto her pile. She's taking 2 away. So that would mean that that 2 that would have been the slope is actually a negative 2. 2 gets taken away, and she starts off with that original 40. I hope this video was helpful. Good luck on your quiz. Bye. Perfect.